There are a lot of great games that just never left the PlayStation 3 because the PS4 and 5 aren't backwards compatible with any of these games. Sony doesn't seem particularly interested in putting out remasters for most of them. I see a lot of people wanting to go back and get a PS3 now, like used online. And so if you've only ever owned a PS4 or PS5 and you want to go back and get a PS3 now, here are the must-have games that never left the system. First and foremost, one of the greatest games of all time, Metal Gear Solid 4. If you've never played it, I also recommend checking out the Metal Gear Solid HD collection because it comes with Peace Walker, which you need to play before 5 if you really want to get the story of Metal Gear Solid 5. And while we're talking about Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, great character action game. If you've never played them, you gotta grab the God of War collection, also the God of War Origins collection, and then if you're really liking the franchise, then you can pick up God of War Ascension. This is the Steelbook, that's the only version of that I have. But these games right here are great, especially if you've only played the new ones. Like, it's really cool to see where the origins of the character came from. 3D Dot Game Hero is a hidden gem of a game. It's kind of like a 2D Zelda popped out into this kind of like Minecrafty 3D block art style, and it's also made by From Software of all people. Puppeteer is a super underrated and overlooked 2D platformer made by Sony Japan where you play as a puppet and the whole thing is a stage play. The presentation is absolutely wonderful and the game is super fun. The original Ninja Gaiden is one of the greatest character action games ever made, and Ninja Gaiden Sigma, I believe, is the newest way to play it. I think there was a PS4 HD remaster of the trilogy, but I'm pretty sure it only came out in Japan or Asian regions. I don't think it was released in America. Infamous 1, but especially Infamous 2, are really great open-world superhero action games. If you like Infamous Second Son, Infamous 2 is the best game in the franchise. There's also Infamous Festival of Blood, but that's a digital exclusive. The Resistance trilogy is interesting. I would say that Resistance 3 is a must-play if you like FPS games. It's one of my favorite FPSs ever. Resistance 2 has some of the coolest set pieces like in any FPS I've ever played, and this one is okay. If you like these two, maybe go back to that one just to see where it all started, but it's definitely the weakest of the three. Sticking with FPSs, if you like those, these games are great, especially 3 and 2. I haven't played the first one, to be honest, but there is a port of it. It's originally a PS2 game, but it's there if you want to play it. Little Big Planet 1 and 2 are the only two that were actually made by Media Molecule, and this one especially is really good, although the first one still has a lot of novel joy to it. Unfortunately, the best part about it is the online, which I believe the servers are shut down, but the level that they created themselves for the story campaign really hold up. Pretty much the entirety of the Ratchet & Clank franchise up to the point of Into the Nexus is available on the PS3, and of games that are exclusively PS3 games, we got Tools of Destruction, Quest for Booty, A Crack in Time, All for One, Full Frontal Assault, and Into the Nexus. So if you like Ratchet & Clank, there's plenty that was only ever released on the PS3. Then again, if you never had a PS2, the Sly Cooper games are fantastic, and if you really like these three, try out Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. It's definitely the weakest, but, you know, if you like these, you'll probably still enjoy this. Next, we have some honorable mentions. These aren't must-plays, but, like, I really like them. I think they're flawed gems.